Clothes that make you look cheap. Yes, there is such a thing, and the reason I'm making this video is because there are two types of people. One is the person that is simply uneducated about the matter and thinks that because something looks attractive to their eye, that it is okay for them to wear it. Wrong. It's not okay, because a lot of things make you look not good. So we're here to fix that, right? So that's one type of person. The second type of person is the lady that just does not care what she wears. Don't be that lady, okay? There's so much you can do. There's so many ways to make yourself look amazing and elegant, sophisticated, beautiful. That's actually not expensive. You don't have to buy designer luxurious brands to really look amazing. There are things that you have to really fine tune and train your eye to see, and then you will instantly realize that, ooh, this type of clothes does not look good on me. It's not flattering for these reasons, and you will just see a woman and you just want to do a few little tweaks, and you know that if she changes these tiny little things, that she will just look 10 notches higher. And why wouldn't you want that? So we're gonna go through some outfits, some type of material actually that you should be avoiding. Now I have 7 that I made a list of, and I'm going to be putting some pictures for you because we are visual people. It's more fun that way, right? So we can discuss something that looks really cheap and something that can make you look elegant and high-end. It will make you look expensive, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. And by the way, my name is Karina. If it's your first time on here, I make these types of videos all the time about your elegance, about your class, your status, your wealth, how to make money, business, and power for you, my beautiful lady. That is what this channel is about. It is about how to be the best, powerful, most beautiful version of yourself. And the whole point is to really educate, because we all make mistakes, not even because we want to, but because we simply do not know. I've had my fair share as well, so I'm really hoping to continue learning. And if you have any other advice that complements these, please do share it down in the comments below. So the first thing is, to your surprise or not, is the fit of the clothing. Really baggy things are just not flattering. There are some things that look high-end and high fashion, but you really need to have the physique in order to pull it off. For example, a tall runway model can get away with kind of an oversized blazer and boyfriend jeans because she just has that fashion look. I'm not saying that is more beautiful than other looks, but you have to go more towards what is catered to you. A typical lady probably is gonna look a little bit awkward in something like that, and it's not going to be looked at as an iconic fashion statement, but more in a sense of, what are you possibly wearing? So we wanna make sure that everything we wear really highlights our best features, and that includes our body. Everyone has different body shapes, but you don't want to look like you're wearing a trash bag or a curtain or a bed sheet. There's really no point in that. If you have assets, really emphasize them. I mean, don't overemphasize them and really go into that icky category, if you know what I mean, but really try to accentuate your features and your fit. There's also something about a tailored look that makes it look more expensive. If something is specifically tailored to your body, it automatically looks more expensive versus these types of dresses or tops or wraps that kind of have this scrunchy material that kind of stretch and fit everybody, right? It's more of a one size fits all because it's scrunchy and it will fit onto many body shapes and types, so you don't really have to get it tailored. But that territory looks very cheap and unflattering. It's not a good direction. It's very obvious when you can see the seams kind of scrunching up. So honestly, if we're being on a more kind of actual physical garment representation, avoid those things that are scrunchy or stretchy. That's a quick no-no for looking cheap. The second thing I want to mention is lace. Ooh, lace. And here's the #1 rule of lace. Unless you're willing to actually spend hundreds, at least a couple of hundreds of dollars on a garment with lace, don't buy it at all. It is so easy to tell cheap fashion lace from actual high quality, luxurious lace. Lace is a very delicate thing where if it's not made or styled properly, it could either look really cheap really fast or really raunchy and really trashy really fast. And another thing is wearing a garment that is full lace. That is a no-no. If you're wearing lace, an expensive type of lace, pick a kind of a part of a clothing that has a piece of lace. Don't go for an entire outfit. Again, if you're not spending hundreds of dollars on it, do not purchase it, okay? Here's an example. I actually brought out one of my favorite shirts. This is by Wolford. I love the brand, right? So you can see it's a top, and it's very high quality. I love the feel. The sleeves are not laced. I don't even know what type of material this is, but you can see the lace right here. It looks quite nice, and it's only on the collarbone. So this is extremely sexy when you wear it because it goes right here. Maybe you've seen me wear this on my Instagram, but as you can see, let me just get a little piece of this, right? It's a tiny little detail, and the lace does look expensive because it is. This was quite a pricey garment, but it's very high quality. It lasts a long time. It looks beautiful. It's comfortable, and the lace looks taste. It looks like it's a lace with taste. It's delicate, it's fine, right? As opposed to something that's chunky and don't wear it, right? So just avoid lace unless you're actually paying a lot of money for it, and pick an accent to accentuate with lace, not a full-on gown or something with lace. Now, the third thing is your prints. You know how I feel about patterns and prints. I hate them. I think they make anyone look extremely and terribly cheap. And terribly cheap. These tiny little flowers, polka dots, squares, zebra lines, cheetah prints. What else is there? Snake. Oh, you know my hate relationship with the fake snakeskin fabric. Anything that is in relation to these types of animal prints or any type of prints, just avoid it. It looks very juvenile. It looks very fast fashion. It looks cheap because most of the time it is cheap. Am I telling you to spend hundreds of dollars on clothing? No. I'm saying if you do not have the funds to invest into a good article of clothing that's going to be timeless and last a long time, of course, you should do that as opposed to buying 10 really cheap ones that are going to kind of break down within a year. Plus, it's also eco-friendly. Anywho, if you can't do that, then buy something that is a neutral color that's not going to scream at the person. Something you can disguise, that could, maybe it's a good quality material, but the branding isn't there. Just something that's going to make you look expensive, as opposed to you just pick something off of a Forever 21 rack as a high schooler would, which you probably aren't. And if you are, also avoid this, right? These prints just make you look inexpensive, and that's what you want to avoid. Next, I want to bring up color. And by the way, if the lighting changed, it is kind of about to be a beautiful sunset. I'm sitting in front of a huge, beautiful window, so I get to watch the beautiful sunset every single day. So the lighting might switch a little bit with shadows, but back to color. Color is very easy to go wrong. I'm not gonna talk about what color suits your skin tone. That's another topic for another time, but this is more so in the type of color, right? Pastels have a very easy tendency to look cheap unless you're actually coupling it with an expensive fabric. So pastels typically look a little bit more washed out, and these types of washed out fabrics, especially these light jeans, maybe that was a trend in the 90s, but we are no longer in the 90s, my lady. And don't wear anything that looks washed out or kind of bleached or things like that, right? It's really easy for those types of fabrics to look cheap, especially cotton materials that used to be a brighter color, and then you washed it a few times and it starts looking a little dingy. Stay away from that. Again, pick your colors very strategically. If you're lost, if you don't know where to start, just go with the safe neutral bet, and until you start to get a little bit more educated, then you can add some higher quality color pieces. But I would suggest sticking with the neutrals, as they do typically look more expensive than any type of color experimentation. Number 5 is the vein of my existence, and that is anything that has fake embellishments, sequins, glitter. I've probably mentioned this at least 20 times in my videos, unless it's a real diamond or a real Swarovski crystal and it's on a piece of jewelry, just avoid it. Please avoid it. Everybody knows that the dress you're wearing does not actually have pearls sewed into it. Everybody knows that the little glitter is not real glitter, as if that's a thing. Just please avoid it. Again, it really looks juvenile, as you are a high school student experimenting with prom dresses, and in that case, maybe that's okay. But even if you are in high school, you can really step up your game. But any type of embellishments, whether they are on your outfits, on your jewelry, on your shoes, are simply not going to make you look expensive. It's a very loud cry for, look at me, look at my outfit, and it does not serve you. So please avoid these types of embellishments. Let's talk about fabrics. Fabrics are really important, and the more you educate yourself, the more you will be able to tell high quality fabrics from low quality fabrics. Most of the time, it's actually unclear to your conscious mind why something looks cheap, but subconsciously you might see a garment or you might see a woman wearing something and you'll think, oh, something's off about that. But your subconscious mind and your experience in life for however long you live can sense that cheap fabric. Not only is it cheap to the touch, but it's actually very cheap to the eye. And here are some examples, okay? The first thing is those really synthetic, shiny fabrics that kind of look like you are swimming, like that bathing suit, stretchy, cheap fabric. A lot of the times, they're even made in bright colors, maybe to overcompensate for the cheapness of the fabric, but the bright color coupled with the cheap fabric does not look flattering whatsoever. So really avoid the combination of these shiny fabrics. Again, anything that draws too much attention to your wardrobe, to your makeup, to your hair, and actually takes away from your actual physical beauty is not something that's serving you. So that is why you should avoid any things of flashes like that. The next thing is the fake suede. Now, real suede material actually looks expensive. However, many cheaper fast fashion brands try to replicate suede, and of course it's not real. They do this synthetic one and it looks obvious. It looks obvious that it's fake, and they love putting it on shoes. Ooh, they love putting it on shoes, especially wedges. I've talked about wedges in some of my other videos and why they are not that great. Wow, it is so bright. Let's see, let's focus right here. Anyways, I talked about wedges and why they're just not a good type of heel to wear, but when they have a bright fake suede over them, it's not cute. Or any type of shoe that has that fake suede material, just please avoid it. There's also that type of fake silk that's not real silk, but you'll often see it again in these fast fashion stores such as Forever 21, and you'll notice the difference really fast because real kind of high quality fabrics don't really wrinkle as much. These type of really thin material that almost exemplify silk, when you scrunch them up, that are going to wrinkle, you'll notice that as soon as you sit down, when you sit back up, it's going to get really wrinkly, and it just looks cheap as your dress or skirt or shirt is kind of flowing around in the wind. You will see, for example, this dress I'm wearing right now, it doesn't do that, right? It's higher quality. I've also have some shirts that I don't know, I can't really reference you. I don't even know where video I wore it in, but they just look expensive, right? Expensive silk versus the really cheapy replica. And am I telling you to, again, spend a lot of money on these silks? No, I'm not. I'm just telling you to avoid the replicas because they look fake, and that's really something you want to avoid, okay? The last thing I want to mention, and this is the fake fur. The fake fur, please avoid the fake fur. Please avoid the actual real snakeskin. You don't understand the cruelty that goes into it. It is just off limits. It really shows a lot about your character when you wear things like that, and please don't. You just look like a cruel person. There's no reason for you to be wearing actual real animal fur, especially nowadays when there's so many warmer alternatives. It looks, when I see even like a photo of it on Pinterest or on Instagram of some model wearing fake fur, it's very cruel and cringeworthy. So really avoid that. Avoid snakeskin as well. the way it's obtained is very cruel and unethical and disgusting. So there's no reason why you should be kind of putting yourself in that mindset and wearing these types of garments, no matter how trendy or in fashion they look. It's just a fine line between having good, just good ethics, right? So avoid fur. And fake fur, avoid that too, because it looks cheap. Some fake fur does look a little bit more elegant, but you really have to know what you're looking for, and most of the time it's really difficult. So I would just avoid the fake fur or the fake synthetic. A lot of fake fur is made by these synthetic fibers, and it kind of looks like plastic because it is plastic. It's just these tiny plastic filaments all over the coat, and it just looks really, really bad. So avoid that as well. Anyways, that's going to be it for the 7 things that make you look so cheap and don't wear them, okay? If you have any that you want to add to it, do drop them down in the discussion. I would love to learn more what you have to offer. And also I have a Facebook group called INTOAMILLI Lady Club, and also podcast INTOAMILLI Lady Club, so we can catch up on there as well. I will see you in my next video.